I woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, well, I walk with my mind on freedom. Talk, oh, well, I talk, oh, well, I talk with my mind on freedom. Oh, hallelujah. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, when I walk, oh, when I walk, oh, when I walk, with my mind on freedom. Talk, oh, when I talk, oh, when I talk, with my mind on freedom. Oh, hallelujah. Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's hot. Yeah.
I woke up this morning. I woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, well, I walk, oh, well, I walk, oh, well, I walk, with my mind on freedom. Talk, oh, well, I talk, oh, well, I talk, with my mind on freedom. Oh, hallelujah. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. With my mind on freedom. Talk, oh, well, I talk, oh, well, I talk.
Oh, yeah.
I woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Woke up this morning with my mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
All right, welcome everybody. Join me in a moment of silence. Join me in some freedom.
Folks in Albany got the mind set on freedom. Folks in Albany got the mind set.
We're gathered here for a special evening. First time that we've combined our transition ceremony with the Fred Barber Legacy of Service recognition. We're listening to an album that Fred helped produce called Everybody Wants Freedom with the Carolina Freedom Fighters. And this was in 1963.
Ain't no harm in keeping your mind.
Freedom that he was helping promote.
On freedom. Ain't no harm
Around civil rights. The freedom that can extend to here from addiction. It's one of the ways that we can incorporate Fred's contribution not only to healing transition, but to many folks over the course of his impactful life. So join me for a minute in listening.
All of us children got the mind set on freedom. All of us children got the mind set on freedom. All of us children got the mind set on freedom. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Oh, well, I walk, oh, well, I walk, oh, well, I walk, with my mind on freedom. Talk, oh, well, I talk, oh, well, I talk, with my mind on freedom. Oh, hallelujah. With my mind on freedom, talk, well, I talk, well, I talk, with my mind on freedom. Oh, hallelujah.
Again, good evening. My name is Chris Butnick, and I'm excited to welcome you here to our 141st men's transition ceremony, and our first time combining it with the Fred Barber Legacy of Service, which we initiated in 2016 and have not held since 2019 due to COVID. So we're really excited about tonight. And we are also doing a little bit of a trial. I want to thank Jason for his help. This is being broadcast on Zoom or over YouTube. And we're, again, trying to do this type of presentation for the first time. So first off, I want to thank our participants who have worked really hard today to get the facility prepared, to coordinate the food, to work on parking and all the other logistics. So if we could please thank our participants for their hard work. I'd also like to thank our staff for their dedicated service. And real important, the ability for Healing Transitions to offer services on demand at no cost to individuals is a result of volunteer service and efforts from our board of directors, our board of trustees, and other important volunteers. So if you are a member of the board of directors, the board of trustees, would you please stand so we can thank you for your service. Thank you. So we're not gonna waste much time. We're gonna get right into it. What we'll be doing first is recognizing 6 men who've entered Silvertip status. We will then be recognizing some recent CPR2 participants, and then we'll move into the Fred Barber Legacy of Service recognition part of the program. So it's my great privilege and honor to welcome Mr. William Dickens.
My name is William Dickens. I'm the planning room coordinator for the men's and women's facility. Silver chipper number 133. My sobriety date is 9/15/2002. So by the grace of God, today I am celebrating. I'm gonna try to keep this moving, but it's just such a joyous time, and I'm gonna say something right quick, and that is, I remember when I was in what we call phase 2, and Fred, and then you could go out and do a little work, make a little money, and I went to Fred's and Evelyn's house and sprayed, power washed the yard, power washed the cement. And I'll never forget that, eating cheeseburgers and laughing with Fred and this Evelyn. So the first new alumni we're going to be welcoming is Mr. Charles Kane. Charles arrived at Healing Transitions on March the 9th, 2006. March the 9th, 2006. I always start this stuff off there. But anyway, he spent 9 days in overnight. He was in Met 1 4 times, Met 2 4 times, CTR 1 2 times. Then he moved on into CTR 1. Some of the things he was addressed of was, I'm not going to go into why he was REC, but he's here today, so you know he's REC. And he was happening. A broken commitment on overspending on the budget sheet, and some of the help he got was, it's okay to make mistakes, facilitate a class on step 9, list 10 things that make Charles Kane happen, and write a page of synopsis. Oh, for the sake of time, I'm not trying to go into all the stuff, but please help me welcome Silver Chipper number 983, Mr. Charles Kane.
How's it going? Of course, playing in my head what I was going to say tonight over and over and over for the past week, probably. And you know, what I've learned in recovery is that never works out. Once you get up here in front of people, you know, nothing that you planned on saying comes out of your mouth. So something I've learned here is to take directions and go by guidelines. So Jason said, here's some pointers. So I'm gonna go with that. And so, you know, what my life was like before I came to Healing Transitions, I had completely run out of options. My first time here, that picture was from 2006. So that tells you for the past 15 years, you know, I've been in and out of this facility, in and out of facilities in the area, in and out of prison, in and out of jail. And I completely ran out of options. I had no more options. And when I ran out of options, I finally found some willingness. The less options I have, the more willingness I have. And I was completely broken. My mother had passed away about 1.5 years prior. My kids were no longer in my life after about 8 years. Luckily, their mother was there to raise them. So I came here on January 21st, or January 13th of 2021. So when I first got here, I kept, that old behavior was still there. I kept making mistakes, breaking guidelines. I got sent back, like he said, 4 times to Met 1. I got REC'd. I had to leave here for 5 days. But one thing that helped me stay here is the recovery community. I knew somebody in the recovery community that welcomed me into their home for those 5 days and helped me reconnect with Alcoholics Anonymous. So I came back here and I did the best I could with with what I had. So another thing that helped me stay here, I told you my mom passed away. Well, Jarvis and another participant that has now passed away, they went and helped me clean out my mother's apartment. I stayed with my mother all my life. And they helped me get everything out of there. There was this rose bush left that my kid's mom had given my mother 20 years ago. And I didn't know what to do with this rose bush. I didn't want to give it away. I didn't want to throw it away. So the master gardeners, I asked Chris and Jason, I think Mr. Dickens too, can I bring this rose bush here and plant it? And so the master gardeners of Wake County, the ones that spend their time and expertise with us here in our gardens, and a participant, David Batts, they helped me plant that rose bush out in the Memorial Garden. So I'm employable now. I work here, and every day I walk out of detox, I can see that rose bush. And the whole time I was here, I put my mom's ashes in the roots. And the whole time I was here, I felt like I had her here with me. And so that's one thing that you know, that helped me stay here too. And thanks to HT and the staff, I was able to do something like that. So what my life is like today, like I'm still learning. I'm employable. I have somewhere to live. I get a paycheck. I'm able to pay my rent. I'm able to pay bills, but I'm still learning. So just an experience I had recently, and I shared this not too long ago. Me and one of the guys that I went through the program with, we both got hired here. Well, 90 days after you work here, you get a name tag, right? Your own name on it. So I come into work one day, and my coworker, we got hired the same day, started work the same day. He had his name tag. I didn't have mine. I'm like, where'd you get that name tag? And where's mine at? And I said, Timmy said, a closed mouth don't get fed, Kane. So, you know, I'm still learning. I got so jealous over this piece of plastic with my name on it. Like a child. So I'm still learning about myself. I'm still learning who Charles Kane is. I'm still learning why I behave like I behave. So, and to correct that stuff so I don't return to drinking and drugging. But anyway, I'm so grateful to be here. So glad to see all you guys. Thank you to the staff. This place saved my life. Thank you.
Yeah. Good job, sir. Good job. I feel like you helped me. The butterflies are going away quickly. I just want to always say, Charles did 2 terms in the planning room as a peer mentor, and we want to thank you, man, for all you do. Next guy we're going to be recognizing, and a lot of times, backing up some of what Charles said, when we talk about just stop drinking and drugging, we learn here through this program, Recovery Dynamics, that drugs and alcohol is what? Just a symbol of the problem. So stop drinking and drugging. We got to work on them behaviors. So good job, sir. I still work on them with the 20 years. Don't never stop. Next participant we're going to be recognized, or the new alumni, is Mr. Timothy Fox. And also, Charles was here a total of over 360 meetings and was here over approximately 383 days. And a lot of times people keep saying that the healing transition is free, but how many of y'all know actually it ain't? So we want to invite you to become a change maker. That means what you can do as a silver chip or an alumni. If you're really grateful for what you say, you can start giving back a little bit out of your paycheck. Because even though we say willingness, y'all do know this place do not operate for free. So come on, I welcome you to become a change maker and give back, since you said you love the place, which I do. I'm a change maker. So if you love it, so that's still alumni, not alumni, and visitors, and anybody else. So I like to say that you was here 383 days, so at about $35 to $40 a night, you owe us some money. Healing transition, I believe. The next new alumni is Mr. Timothy Fox, third and last in recovery. Timothy arrived at Healing Transition May the 21st, 2021, Silvertip this program May the 9th, 2022. And as we look at Timothy, he's a walking miracle for the HT. I don't want to talk about it much because we do get emotional sometimes in recovery. But while he was here, he was helped by some of his peers with certain suggestions of his bad behavior, like 2 poor job performances, 1 inappropriate comment, 1 doing nothing, not gathering the facts, not tour ready, 2 times not following the guidelines. He received some suggestions or help from his peers, 72-hour buddy band with Carlton Pierce, 3-day buddy band with Daniel Coons, a writing on here, right here and right now, a TED talk on assertiveness. He was asked to wear his earplugs, 7 days, no profanity, because he really can use it. Relinquish control, and 1 suggestion of clean detox. Tim attended over 417 meetings and was here, you added up about $35 to $40. He was here 353 days, so I'm gonna let him do the arithmetic. All I know is, I want you to be called, but you already a changed man.
So I came prepared. I wrote a speech a month ago. Okay, I got a flair for the dramatic, so if I can get through this without crying, I'll be proud of myself. So 16 months ago, I came to the healing transition, broken and incapable of loving myself. I burned my whole life to the ground. I truly believed that I was unworthy of love and that I would never live a life free from addiction. I thought my family had given up the idea of me never being sober. Little did I know just how wrong I was. From the moment I walked through these doors, I was shown love and acceptance, which, in case you didn't know, was something I thought the drugs and alcohol were giving me. The people here loved me when I couldn't love myself. I started to watch people's lives changing as I went through the program. So wanting what they had, I started to do what they did. And before I knew it, my life started to change. I started to like myself just a little. My father, my sisters, and my brother started getting some rest at night, knowing I was safe and that I was sober. These were things I never knew would matter to me, but turns out they meant the world to me. So for once in my life, I kept going. I decided to finish something other than a bag or a bottle. But as I approached the finish line, I guess my higher power wanted to hit me with the old razzle dazzle, just to see if I was going to do whatever it took to stay sober. I was faced with mortality and a short but terrifying encounter with brain cancer. But when I woke up from my brain surgery and seeing my newfound family gathered just to pray for me, someone who had been searching for love his whole life, I knew that no matter what, I never had to use again. Chris even had bracelets made with my name on them. Talk about an ego boost. For all it is, someone who once felt he didn't deserve anything. I want to thank Chris, Amanda, Wendy, William, John, Rayford, and Jason for everything they've done. I also want to thank Brandon and Taylor for hiring a once nobody who had no experience working. And I want to thank this program and all that it does for the recovery community. But mostly for giving my family not the old me back, but a version of me they've been praying for. Forever grateful, Silvertip number 984.
Man, it's powerful, man. All of it is powerful. You know, if y'all would have saw what Timothy went through, but I tell you, amazing. Thank God. Love you, Timothy. Love you. All right, the next new alumni we're going to be recognizing is Mr. David Ringenberg. David also is a former peer mentor. He did something to Jason that I never know, but it was all right. He did a commitment in the planning room, and I don't know if he finished, but he also went over and did a commitment as an RES staff, peer mentor helping out. Very proud, man. That's all right. All right, some of the help he received while here was 3 not following the guidelines, sloth, multiple poor job performances, and like I said, for the sake of time, I ain't gonna Some of the help he got from his peers was small holes sink big ships. Announcement to the Met too that there is no one above help. Watch while Met two did the laundry so they can take a break. They kind of go together. Evidently, you want to be the boss or something. Why I can't sleep in my recovery? What kind of father I would like to become and help the scarecrow out. The scarecrow, if they're thinking, somebody might explain it, it's the guy that helped the lady gardeners when they come up here to work out in the courtyard. 2 weekends at a place at the table and 1 week down by 10, up by 6. While here, Mr. Ringenberg attended over 270 meetings, and at $35 to $40 a day, he was here 357 days. And we would like our money too. So please help me. Number 986 of today.
Does not follow guidelines was because I like to sleep.
Oh,
I was one that was always caught sleeping like 10 minutes later than I should. So unlike Timmy Fox, I did not prepare a speech. I wanted to thank all the staff here and this place. I've known about this place for 10 years before I entered that door. And I tried to stay as far away from this. I knew that I had a problem and I didn't care about it then. Until I finally got thrown down, homeless, beat up, just, it was terrible. Like I was at my own end. And I finally walked in those detox doors saying that I was done. I talked with the fellow here, who might be in this room, Reggie Reed, if he's here. I wanted to thank you, Reggie, because he convinced me in conversation about detox today. This place, it totally changed my life because it gave me the opportunity, a place to get away from the world and to be able to make my recovery my own, not just become like a programmatized robot to AA or anything else. I found recovery dharma, and I owe it that, and it helps, and I love it personally. I've never experienced a recovery more than 12 months, and one that was actually real. And so this is great. My life is turned around. I work with some really good friends. I know I come back, I sponsor a guy here. I get to come up here and bring meetings on Wednesdays, take guys to our Dharma meetings on Thursdays. I want to thank Walt Jr. for showing me how to run and be a peer mentor. Thank you. And I wanted to thank John Hubbard and Mr. Dickens personally. And I did complete my peer mentorship, but there he is, John Hubbard. I wanted to thank him because these guys did not send me back all the way to Mat 1 when I ended up cussing out the entire admin office on my last day as a peer mentor. Thank you for just letting me cool down and get myself right. So, I didn't think I'd actually be standing up here. So I just wanted to say thank you all. It's good to be here. Thanks a lot.
John, you just put us on the spot. There must have been a mighty good reason that we did not. But anyway, the next new participant alumni we're going to be recognizing is Mr. Kendall Smith. I know why you're getting all them applause from the ladies. All right. Some of the suggestions and help he received from his peers really going to show you that drugs and alcohol is just a symbol of the problem. He had 8 poor job performances, 3 not following the guidelines, unapproachable, late for 2001, forgot to lock the kitchen door, and forgot to check the temperature on the food in the kitchen. But some of the help he received from his peers to try to help him with that behavior was a 30-day program free. Just stop, man. Just hold that. Sponsor call log for 30 days, a daily planner, 2-day buddy band with Charles Kane. Write letter to ex-girlfriend and burn it. Why it's okay to ask for help, meet and greet 2001 3 times, 2 weeks running center, and a job change. And after all of that, right there to the end, Mr. Kendall, he was the driver and he went over to the women's facility on an errand and he decided to stop and get out and start playing basketball. That's when we knew it was time for Kendall to no longer drive for the He attended over 519 meetings and for just 424 days. Please help me welcome Mr. Silver Chipper number 987, Mr. Kendall. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Y'all sound good. Y'all look good. You look real good. Yeah. I've been thinking about this day, pretty much since I got here. Am I going silver chip or am I not going? At first, I made up in my mind. Let me back up. My clean date is March 13, 2021. And that means actually I got 18 months clean 2 days ago. Because of this program, man, this program is amazing. Excuse me. But I would just like to thank everybody, thank the staff. We got an amazing staff up here. I can't really express the way I feel about this program. It's just a lot of love, and I'm forever grateful for this program. And staff members, man, I don't know how y'all did it, but y'all got us through COVID up here. Y'all got us clean through COVID. I think that's amazing, real. And seen a lot of people leave while I was here, and a lot of people come back. A lot of people not make it back. We got a tree out there called the goodbye tree. Mr. John Hubbard and Mr. Diggins, they like to call it the hope to make it back tree. But it's the truth though, sometimes you might not make it back, man. And I'm just glad that, I've made it this far through the support and helping everybody. I'd like to especially thank my family that's out there right now, my mom, my dad, and my sister. I love y'all. They've been supporting me the whole time since I've been here. And even before I got here, I mean, my mama, she like my superhero, man, to be honest. And my stepdad, he like her superhero. So, but, they came and got me one day from Wilmington where I was, the last place I was using. And they took me to Cherry Hospital. And I ended up staying there for 2 weeks and ended up calling, said, you gotta find a place to go. Called him to transition. Well, first we called Chofa. First we called Chofa. And then, called Trillium. And Trillium is Jamie L. I think is the leader here for Trillium, and got in touch with her. And she convinced me to stay. You know how she did that? She said, she didn't mention that it was an all men program. Or that it was a homeless shelter. Yeah, real. Got self-building. And my son work on the night job. It was like, well, listen to the name of it. And the Healing Transitions. It sounds like a nice place. And I'm like, and that makes sense. So I'm gonna go up there. And that started this journey for me. So I've been here since then. And I had so much fun since I've been here. So many days of just I would never take this year and a half back for anything. Very grateful, man. We have cookouts, Y'all help me out. We had cookouts, cornhole, and horseshoes, and volleyball, basketball. The water slide, the recess game, shout out to the recess game. Yeah, let me do some shout outs, I'm gonna wrap it up. But, I want to shout out Trillium. I want to shout out the Gap Church. Y'all feel free to cheer. I want to shout out to, let's see, the place at the tables. Oh, the Run Club. And, I was St. James, my new church, matter of fact. Queen, that's his brother right there. One of my church members. Queen is another silver chipper, and it just shows you how small the world is. And I got a good job today. You know, I'm hired by another silver chipper, started his own business. You know, some of my coworkers are silver chippers. And it's just been such a blessing, man. I really can't express it, but I moved in. One of my housemates is one of the staff members here. Actually two of them, excuse me. Two of them. So shout out to the kitchen. Shout out to the kitchen. Thank out for the kitchen, man. But I'll wrap it up. I'm just really grateful, man. That's all. So if you here and you think about leaving, I highly suggest you stay. And I did it, you know, and I'll be good.
Now we're gonna be recognizing as Mr. Bruce said. Bruce arrived at Healing Transition July the 29th, 2021. Silver chipped out on May the 31st, 2022. He attended over 404 meetings, was here over 306 days. Some of the suggestions he got, sometimes when y'all don't get a lot of help, I can be trying to figure out what's going on. Maybe he was a really nice guy, I just didn't understand. One inconsideration, one retaliation, one poor job performance. Some of the help he got is writing on how retaliation involves envy. 1 week on an emotional inventory, that'll hope been some right there. And writing on the 4 horsemen. So please, and he has been hired on as a rapid responder, y'all, and that is a really powerful job right there. My hat's off to him. Please help me welcome Silver Chip alumni number 987, Mr. Bruce C.
How y'all doing?
Sorry, 988.
988.
What it was like before I got here. 2015, I lost my wife to an overdose on Christmas Eve. Sent me out. I ended up homeless. My family wanted nothing to do with me. And I prayed I died every day. When I got here, Brett reached out to me, made me feel welcome. My plan was 6 months. I'm leaving. I'm still here. Thank God. I went into the kitchen, built a family in there, Lem, Markel, some other silver chippers. And this got serious. I wanted to live. I was able to laugh. And Justin and Stephanie and Courtney and Dane used to come to me in the kitchen, get boxes to help the people in the rapid response. And that's how I got connected. I've been homeless, I've been hungry, and I know what it's like, so I wanted to help. So now today, I'm able to go out and help people, give out Narcan, or maybe help somebody's family save their life. Thank y'all. That's it.
Y'all, man, y'all some powerful stories tonight, and I thank you. Thank you.
Good job,
Definitely.
Love you, man.
Love you too. The last new alumni we're gonna be recognizing, he's I really should have got somebody else to do this, because this guy's a Dallas Cowboy fan. Yeah, I know some more of y'all in here. I know some more of you in here. Detox is always amazing. All right, the last guy we're gonna be recognizing is Eric Sands. Eric took him a while to decide he wanted this program. I just counted it up. I didn't know you had been in before, but you just did overnight. So you spent 38 days as overnight, and y'all be bringing overnight back. So some of y'all might get a contract. He did 38 nights, and I think somebody did more. So don't be surprised if you get overnight for about 25 days. We got quiet here. All right. He had some poor job performances, or not following the guidelines. I didn't write them all, but some of the help he received from his peers was: secrets keep me sick, give away 4 pairs of shoes to met one, clothing closet volunteer for 1 month, dress down for 1 week, go to the clothing closet with another potential to help him get clothes, teach the class on dressing formally, chair what detox me, and remind all new CTR1 participants about the importance of the detox meeting. Eric was here over 465 days and attended 495 meetings. Please help me welcome Silver Chip alumni number 989, Mr. Eric Sands. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Derek. I'm not alcoholic. I didn't come prepared with a speech or anything like that, but that sure is tell you what, following these guys over there, I was the whole while I was over there trying to think of something to say because I was last quarter, you know what I mean? So what I do want to do, because my family's watching. Hey mom, hey Barber, hey everybody. And they remember my early journey when I first got introduced to alcohol. You know, I grew up in Chapel Hill, basketball town, 814. Yeah, I used to do pickup games with Michael Jordan and Jimmy Black. Billy Braddock was my big brother, had a big brother program. So I became pretty popular as a teenager and used to hang out on campus, and they accepted me as one of them and a lot of us. And so I started my early drinking career with guys that were in frat house, right? And so they had this apparatus back then, right, that was called, had this long tube on it and had a funnel at the top, right? And I was like, I loved alcohol, but I had never tried this. So when I saw this, Josh, hey, what's up, Josh? When I saw this, I was like, let me try that. You know, let me try it. So I tried it that night. I tried it time and time again. You know, most people, because that was a blackout drink from a kid. Most people, when they drink, right, they usually end up in jail. They wake up in jail after they black out. Strangely enough, Brett, where's Brett? Brett, I used to wake up in white people's house. On their couch, the husband will be holding the baby. He will be arguing with the wife like that. Here. And I couldn't talk because I had drank so much that by the time the police got there, it would take them 12 hours to find out where I lived because I couldn't talk. Everything was and this happened more than once. So I guess, you know, mom was like, this boy's something wrong, there's something wrong with the police, can't talk when they bring him here. So what happened was they sent me to my first program, which was a place called Delancey Street. I don't know if y'all ever heard of Delancey Street. It preceded Trosa, and then after Delancey, they kicked me out of Delancey Street the first day because I started crying. I thought you were supposed to start crying. I needed help. I knew I was an alcoholic. But at any rate, from that point all the way up until now, when I came here to the healing transitions, I was here in 2010, that's what that picture was. It took you a long time to get into the program. And by the time you got into the program, you wanted to stay. And just like now, you know, when we come, we want to stay because if we come for help, you know, we come for the right motives. We want help. But from that point all the way up until now, everything that happened in between then and now, I must say that if it was not for staff, this place has a supernatural staff. I used to think that they would, every morning, they would just get together. They would all take like this blue pill. But I found out that they're just people, man. People helping people. And the supernatural thing about these people is that it spreads abroad. Because the community that's here, there's no greater or lesser community than me, man. Whoever's here is the ones that are supposed to be here. Whatever it's like, is the way it's supposed to be. So I started looking at the process of accepting that my drinking career is over. You know, recovery's not enough because it's where I'm at now. When recovery's not enough, you know, life shows up. Jobs, family, getting fired from jobs, starting new jobs, all that kind of stuff. And being able to navigate through that with a sponsor, with a home group, with a network, and all those types of things. You all helped teach me those things. And thank you for helping to save my life. Thank you for helping to save my life. You know, giving glory and honor to my higher power first, second to my family for hanging in there with me. Third to the healing transition. Not the healing transition. This place saved my life. And I will forever be bound to coming around here and worrying Mr. Dickens about the New York Giants.
Yeah.
All right, hello, everybody. My name is Jason Sexton. I'm the transition case manager here at the men's. Also stewardship number 544. So I work with those men that have completed the educational portion and are now either doing a commitment to get back, either doing that or looking for work or working and saving money for housing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize those men that have made it to this part of the program since the last ceremony. They're going to get a copy of their detox picture. And we also have a tradition here. The thought behind it is that while they've been out here ripping and running, they've lost all their marbles. So we're going to let them have one of them back. All right? So the first man I want to recognize is McKay Jacob. Ivan Combs.
Good job, Ivan.
Jonathan Wayman. Luis Aviles Rivera. Errol Nathan. Douglas Harvey. Good friend. Brad Wall. Eric Redford. Chad Dickens. Ward Freeman. Austin Pope. Felix Polito. Congratulations to all the alumni. Congratulations to the silver clippers. And you, William, 20 years.
Thank you, gentlemen. Congratulations. We are going to transition now to the Fred Barber Legacy of Service portion. And we're going to listen to a short clip of Fred from an interview that we did as we were approaching our 10-year anniversary.
Well, I started teaching, I'm in recovery. And so when we started, again, we didn't have anybody who had come through the program. So I started teaching the classes steps 2 and 3, which we call the solution steps. First step's the problem, dealing with the problem. Then you got the solution, which is the spiritual solution. And so steps 2 and 3 are the solution. Then we have action 1, which is steps 4 and 5. And that's when you start taking action to do something to get you closer to the solution. And then we have action 2, which is steps 6 through 12. So I started out for the first couple of years teaching steps 2 and 3 classes. And then I did that for maybe 3 years. I don't remember how long it was. And I felt like I was burning out. I took a little time off from that. But then immediately started missing it. And then started several years ago teaching this action 2 classes, which is steps 6 through 12. And I've been teaching that since. And it's, it's just a great thing for me. It helps me in my sobriety because I stay fresh with it. It helps me to get to know the guys here. And I have a real, I love this place. I love what it does. And I think it's I worked for 40 years in the broadcasting business and managed several television stations around the country, and then wound up running this little broadcast group for Capital. But nothing in my career working comes close to the sense of commitment accomplishment and importance of what I've done here. I mean, I really love coming to work when I come to volunteer here. I mean, I really have enjoyed the last 10 years of the happiest years of my life. I mean that.
That's a hard act to follow. Can you hear me? Good evening, I'm Evelyn Booker. And it is such an honor to be able to speak to you a few minutes tonight about Fred Barber. There are so many stories. When I asked Chris how long I was supposed to speak, he said 5 to 7 minutes. So I'll cut some of the stories if you will. First, when our parents name us, our names have meaning. Frederick, for instance, is a boy's name of German origin, and it means peace, ruler, power. Fred means peace and peaceful ruler. It stems from an old German and old French title, Frederick, Manfred, and Alfred. Fred by itself means peace. His middle name was Ray, also of German origin, and it means wise protector. Fred was born October 17, 1937. A person's birth month, day, and year means something as well. Fred means a life's pursuit to be consistent. Life's desire is to live an easy, uncomplicated life while major contributions. This person who was born on October 17, 1937, the strengths are cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded, and sociable. The first story that I'm going to share with you quickly stands out vividly. In January 1991, there was a drugstore in the shopping strip behind WRAL-TV studios. And there was a path between the station and the shopping strip. It was Mission Valley. The drugstore was robbed this particular night, and the police officers were told that there was a tall, black guy who ran in the direction of WRAL-TV. Well, Tony Farrell, who signed out every night at 7 p.m., would jog to the parking lot, drive through Pullen Park to go home and have dinner with his wife and daughter, returning to the station and signing back in at 8 p.m. There was a mistaken identity. The officer stops Tony, handcuffs him, and to make sure he didn't try to run as the officer returns to his patrol car, he shoots Tony, leaving him bleeding profusely. When Tony's name came across the feed, they immediately told Fred Barber, who happened to be in the lobby. And he, a reporter, and one of the news drivers rushed to the scene with the sign-out sheet in hand to show and tell that Tony had signed out at 7, was an employee of WRAL-TV, shared his nightly routine, and that he had the wrong person. Fred and the news crew followed the ambulance to the hospital. This is a much longer story, but in the interest of time, he survived. One of the things that people loved most about Fred was his love, care, and concern for people, regardless of skin color. I decided to ask 5 people to give me 3 words that they would use to describe Fred Barber. All of these are retired except one, Loretta Harper Arnold. Loretta said he was empathetic, a servant leader, and genuine. Paul Pope's 3 words were strong, firm, but very opinionated. Walt T. Rasulullah said creative, community leader, supportive. Tony Farrell, the one that was shot by the police officer, compassionate, a man of integrity, a true gentleman. And Clarence Williams, empathetic, talented, and faithful. And yours truly, Evelyn Booker, professional, a gentle giant, a motivator. Once I asked Fred to address our sales team at our sales cutting session, where we would discuss the year in review and a look ahead, and what each member's contributions would be. I would typically invite Fred to be put on the agenda after lunch. Of course, he would talk about how proud he was of our performance, making budget. But he spent most of his time talking about the importance of taking care of ourselves so that we could in turn take care of our families. He talked about the incredible company that we were blessed and fortunate to be a part of. With the profit sharing program, it is crucial, he would tell us, to invest so that when you're old enough to retire, you will be financially sound. He said that sales is the only position or career in the United States where your compensation is commensurate with your efforts. In other words, you work hard, you make a lot of money. You work a little, you make a little money, and he would tell us we can't afford to keep those people around. The last story is when I applied for the position of local sales manager and later general sales manager. He gave me a couple of pertinent questions to ask upper management as I concluded my interview. The most important one was, if you had to make your decision today, am I at the top of your list of finalists? Why or why not? Especially with my sales and mentoring record, what would be your suggestions for area of improvement to move that needle in my favor? Fred Barber, your leadership skills gave you the ability to identify and develop outstanding broadcast professionals. Your career achievements illustrate that management talent. Last statement came from Clarence Williams. So Fred Barber, a leader, a true gentleman, an advisor or counselor, a motivator, a family man, a man of faith, a man of wisdom. If Fred were addressing us tonight, what would he say about diversity, equity, and inclusion? I feel deeply that he would agree with German Dent and say to all of us, live your life in such a way that you will be remembered for your kindness, your compassion, your fairness, your character, benevolence, and a force of good who have much respect for life. Fred Barber, as we remember.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. And the recipients that we are going to recognize tonight have been selected because they embody Fred's legacy of service. And one of the things in our community meetings that we talk about is the concept of do nothing. And if we do nothing, nothing changes. If folks in Wake County did nothing, we wouldn't have a place here. But if it wasn't for Fred, Maria Spalding, and the woman I'm going to introduce next, there wouldn't have been this program to start with. So it is my honor to welcome Ms. Barbara Goodman, who's going to introduce our first recipient.
I'd like to speak to my friends over here. Listen, Fred. We had a wonderful time together. Maria Spalding, Fred Barber, and I. We spent a year every day together developing this program, fighting about it, laughing about it, crying about it, but we got it done. Well, I'm happy to be one of the presenters tonight, the Fred Barber Awards event. Fred was a founder of the Healing Place, as I said, and volunteered here for years. And I know that he is missed by the men, by the staff, and I know by his family. One of the people to be honored tonight is Carol Bilbrook.
Yeah.
Woo! One, going to present her award to her. Carol has also volunteered for years of healing and healing transitions. If I call it the Healing Place, don't just let me do it. I'm sorry. Carol has also volunteered for years with the healing transitions. In the beginning, when the campus was under construction, Carol noticed a sea of red mud in the courtyard. She recruited about 10 of her friends to a courtyard committee and persuaded Thomas Sayre to do a sculpture of the courtyard, for the courtyard. The result is the awesome place for a reflection now. So we can thank Carol for what she has done with that, what she did for that. More recently, in 2018, Carol took the job of chair of the Capital Campaign, and Recovery Can't Wait. This was a 3-year project with 40 volunteers that raised over almost $24 million. With these dollars, we are adding parking space and 200 beds at the 2 locations. I cannot wait to see Carol's next project. I am honored to present the Fred Barber Award to my friend Carol Bilbrook.
Thank you, everybody. I am totally overwhelmed by this award and all it represents, but I'm just tremendously honored. But really, I want to honor you guys who are here, who are clients of Healing Transitions. We can hardly speak about your enthusiasm for this program. And we're so grateful to you for having the courage and the determination and the perseverance to stick with this. And I will always be one of your greatest cheerleaders. So thank you.
Hi, I'm I'm Kat Thomas, the Health Services Coordinator at the men's and women's campuses. Dr. Hilsman has been volunteering his time in Healing Transitions Clinic since about 2002, initially at the men's campus, and then once the women's campus opened, he began volunteering over there as well. He has donated psychiatric services to participants who encountered barriers to being seen by the mental health community. He's a champion for recovery and a great supporter of the Healing Transitions mission. Dr. Hilsman has recently become a mentor to several HT staff members as well. I am honored to introduce my friend and colleague, Dr. Phil Hilsman.
Well, it's been a privilege to be able to make a contribution in such a small way to such a fine organization. And I'd like to thank the committee for selecting me for this honor. I got involved with Healing Transitions in the very early stages because I saw it was going to be very valuable to the community and I wanted to be a part of it. I knew some of the principal people involved, especially Chris Budnick, Dennis Parnell, and Dr. Wilmer Betts. I had worked closely with each of them. Dr. Betts in particular was a close friend and mentor who had treated individuals in his psychiatric practice who had substance use disorders. And he was also involved in helping the monitoring program for impaired physicians get started. And he became very enthusiastic about Healing Transitions and put a lot of time and energy into starting the program, along with many others. But his enthusiasm was infectious, and he helped draw me in. And I've been really excited to be part of the program, watch individuals recover and go on to live useful lives in the community. I know that the program has saved many lives, and it really serves a unique role in the community, and I've been very happy to be a part of it. I'd like to thank the committee again.
Woo! Hey, y'all, I'm Liz Heller, Silver Chipper number 287.
My name is Valentine Brown, former peer mentor and former communications intern.
Recess Games. It's an organization that links up the community with people in recovery, shows them a fun, competitive, camaraderie building way to have fun in recovery. What has it done for the men's campus?
Well, they actually introduced us to some guys too from where Alex worked. And we get together, we play kickball, tug of war, softball. They make everybody feel like true champions.
So I remember last year I came back to the Healing Transitions. It happened to be field day at Dix Park. I was able to see my son. We played kickball, and I knew I was in the right place. And we had a blast. Thank you so much.
And just like a side note, like Alex plays a big part in a lot of people's recovery here. Him and Nolan both, you know, they get us together, we have a good time, and they show us we can have a good time without drugs and alcohol. And that's why they deserve this award.
And left, we're going to show a couple pictures.
Slide.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Recess Games, Alex and Nolan.
Real. Do I need a microphone? I don't think so. This is so many emotions, dude. So humble about this. Sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, okay. Hey, y'all. So many emotions like revolving around this, man. I'm humble first and foremost. I remember being a participant in these very seats, seeing people get this award and just saying, ain't no way, like how in the world am I gonna do that? That's it, just do. Each one of you, you're obligated. All the clients, all the residents in here, you are forever indebted to this place, just like me. I love doing transitions. I remember a time when someone vandalized the bathroom when I was participating here. And seeing Mr. Dickens talk about that. Bring us all in here for a class. He chewed us out. And at the time, you know, I didn't want to hear that. You know, I didn't. But I thought about it more at night in the shelter. And he got teary-eyed talking about that. It really bothered him somebody vandalized that. I just get it. He has a love for this place. I love this place. I learned my morals and values all over again when I came here. I became a family man again. I'm getting emotional thinking about that. Oh my God, dude. Look, I challenge you all, each one silver chipping, help guys who picked up their marble, go earn a Fred Barber Award. Go pursue a passion. Give back. I don't know. I have nothing else. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm so overwhelmed right now. Thank y'all so much. I love each and every one of you.
I don't think I can follow that up, so I'm just gonna, I really, you know, I'm getting emotional. No,
I love y'all, man.
this means so much to me. When we found out that we got this award, truly, I was blown away. We called each other and we really couldn't believe it because, like I said, we were sitting in those chairs right there and we watched people come up here and get this award. And at that time, my life was, I felt like it was over. I really did. And now we get the opportunity to really reach back and help you guys have some fun and recovery, man. Because it's in the beginning, you get here, it's like I said, I felt like my life was over. I'd never have fun again. But we found that that's not true. And so we wanted to create a place and an organization to be able to provide that to all of you and everybody else in the Raleigh community. So that's what we do now. And we really couldn't be here today if it wasn't for all the staff members here and all the participants. Every single one of you has made this possible. This place is a miracle. It truly is. And I'm so grateful to be up here today. So thank you all.
All the guys who, you know, you're getting concerned, you got them piling up, don't trip. I had 65 coming through here. I got sent back twice. I was pissed when it happened, but my brothers who loved me did it. And I understood. Every word I wrote with this Dickens, he graded like paper. It was so important to me. He gave me feedback. Just know, like, if you want to leave today, give it another day. Talk to somebody about it. I love y'all. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sheree Fletchick. I'm Healing Transitions Comptroller. Tonight I have the honor of introducing Sean Hill of King Realty. Sean has voluntarily served as our construction project manager and has been instrumental in moving our women's and men's campus expansion projects forward. He has helped us navigate the complexities we've encountered with project planning and design, construction contracts, city permits, more city permits, timelines, and what seem to be ever increasing construction costs. Aside from his full-time job and welcoming a beautiful baby boy to his family, he has provided us countless hours of expertise and project oversight for Healing Transitions. I hope that everyone here has had a chance to see the progress that's being made on these projects, and so much of that progress is thanks to Sean. So I honestly don't believe that we would be where we are with all of that without all of his work. We're incredibly grateful. It's my pleasure to present the Fred Barber Legacy of Service Award to Sean Hill.
First off, I just want to say thank you to the committee for recognizing me for the Fred Barber Legacy of Service Award. I feel very honored and flattered to receive this award. You know, given I've only been working with Chris and Healing Transitions for a couple of years now, but it's been such a rewarding experience. I got involved in Healing Transitions through a request at our company for someone to help review contracts and vendor agreements for the new men's and women's expansion. So pretty small, limited role. But after sitting down with Chris and the construction committee to discuss the project and where it was a few years ago, I felt that I could use my experience here at Kane and my experience in construction to play a bigger volunteer role as an owner's representative. You know, I felt that I could help get the project accurately priced, you know, designed, scheduled, permitted, and ultimately kicked off with construction, which I'm happy to say is where we're at today. I've been on the board of Emmaus House since 2017, and most, if not all, of our men come from Healing Transitions, and they come in ready with the tools and direction to be successful. And you know, that's all because of Healing Transitions and believing in the program and the process. You know, I look forward to continuing to provide leadership and service on the men's and women's expansion project. I'm very excited for, you know, a year from now when we get to open the doors and welcome in more men and women into the Healing Transitions program so that they can begin their new journey on the path to recovery. Again, thank you very much to the committee for nominating and selecting me for this award. I'm very humbled and very honored. Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Sandra Miller.
I'm Mark Gentry.
This evening, I have the privilege of giving the Fred Barber Award for the Legacy of Service Award for providing licensed therapy meetings at Healing Transition. Even though her meetings are centered around a group, she makes each person in her meetings feel validated and important. She has helped countless victims of trauma with her unique perspective in a meeting environment. Her trauma meetings have changed my view and my understanding and given me the courage to face my own personal trauma. I have seen many women grow and flourish through the guidance she offers. Those of us who attend this meeting have formed a true bond thanks to her insight. She has a way of pulling stuff out of you even when you feel like you can't talk about it. And she's the only therapist I know that brings a dog and a cat to a meeting as well.
When I first got here and when I was introduced to the trauma class, I really didn't know what to expect. I was given some handouts that were excellent, very well prepared. And I came in here, got on the computer, and really there was only a few people that wanted to show up to classes. I tried to round them up to get them in the class. I wanted it to succeed, mainly because I needed it. And at that particular time, it had a very specific, profound effect on me in her meetings because I had suffered trauma for years. And it manifests itself differently in different people. But for me, it was very bad. Very bad. Mr. Nicholas, no. He knows. I did overnight. Many times. But when I started her classes, like she just said, it is automatic. The cat with the Captain America outfit. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta laugh. I mean, and then the dogs want to be recognized. They're popping their heads up. And then she is right there in the center. And she has this empathic way of just drawing you in. And I didn't feel comfortable at first,
because I was in front of a bunch of dudes, she's on the screen. I usually would talk about things like this individually with a therapist, right? But it was all of a sudden, bam, it was time. And as soon as I opened up, I mean, everything that she said, she's very knowledgeable, extremely knowledgeable. And it has helped me because it gives me the tools that I can deal with my illness. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Shay.
Very happy to be here tonight. Anyone who's come to trauma group knows that we start with, so anybody got anything good from the week? And this is definitely my good thing for the week. So I think, I think at the committee, I thank all the participants here, and really I thank the men and women who come to group. They come, they work hard. We laugh a lot, but we don't always have a lot of fun. They do really hard work. They face things that maybe they haven't ever faced before. And it's, I come and I bring my handouts and we open group up and I bring cats. But ultimately it's the men and women who come every week, who share, who give me their trust, who trust each other, that really create the magical space that we have. We've been doing this about 4 years now, I realized, and we really have had a lot of growth, and I've gotten the privilege to see a lot of people grow and change and heal. And like I said, I open it up, but it's everybody who comes to group that really makes it what it is. And the staff who gives the time and the space for that to happen. So I just really want to, say thank you for this award, and I'm really honored to receive it.
My name is Crystal and I'm Silver Tripper 297. When I first met Ms. Tammy, it was spring of 2020, and she was fulfilling her commitment as a peer mentor. After transitioning out of the program, she quickly became a devoted volunteer at Recovered Treasure Thrift Store, volunteering 1,778 hours, Monday through Saturday, 10:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. She was a tremendous impact helping our customers, new volunteers, and taking the time to help anyone and everyone who came through those doors. I deeply enjoyed working and learning from her wit and grit of how things are done. It is with great honor and privilege that I am able to present the Fred Barber Legacy Award to someone who holds a special place in my heart, Ms. Tammy Shaw, Silver Chipper number 274.
My name is John Shives. I'm Silver Chipper 740 from the men's, and it's an honor to be here tonight to accept this award on my mom's behalf. She's actually watching this from the hospital bed. She's battling stage 4 cancer. So, but I'll just say a couple quick words about her. When she was struggling before she came, I told her, my mom, I said, you've been working your job for about 24 years. And I was like, you're miserable, and why don't you just quit your job and go to the healing transition, start a brand new path. And she quit her job and went to the women's, stuck it all the way through. And when she finished, she said, it was really wild to see my mom get a silver chip, because I was like, dude, there's 2 of us. But I said, what are you gonna do now? You're retired, you're not working, and so you've got to do something. She's like, I'm gonna try out the thrift store. And you know, get away from the idle mind, and she just loves helping people, and she always talked highly of Terry and Jarvis, and she worked with my old roommate in recovery, Patrick Stoll, and a couple other people around, but she's grateful for y'all. She's watching from the hospital bed. Love you, Mom, and we just appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
I'm Bob, I'm Uncle Elton Paul. We have a little housekeeping to do here first. The nominating committee, I'm on we have 4 vacancies, 2 men and 2 women. And so we're trying to have a nominating committee come up here and we're going to take care of the housekeeping. So we've got 2 hats, one with women, one with men. For the hats, please, and with the nominating committee, please join me, Anita and Mark and Brian and Rob. Will you please join me? Those of you that John? Anita? He's on the phone. Okay. So we need,
Yeah, Mark.
we have a woman volunteer, please. Come on. Let's show them. Oh, okay, all right. All right, we're going to draw first. We're going to draw 2 women. Okay, the first one is going to be the 1-year term. The second will be the 3-year.
Well, you know,
Man,
all right, 1 year.
and the winner is Jane. Jane. Spam. Come on. Spamnito. Spampanetto. Jay Spampanetto. Stay here. Listen, Holly Thomas, come here. Come here. All right, now, yeah. 1 year.
Oh, City Recovery Fund.
That's gonna be tough. Well, City Recovery Fund. Those guys, Forget about it. Dustin and Matt. 1 year.
City Run Club, congratulations.
Come on, Bill Brown. Now, I would like you all to get your program. I want you to hold it with this facing out and with Fred facing in. Like that? All right, this is what I want you to have right there, right now, and hold on to that. Because there's a, I'll read you a poem. My favorite poem, I call it Couldn't Be Done. Reminds me of Fred. Somebody said it couldn't be done, but Fred with a chuckle replied that maybe it couldn't, but he would be one who wouldn't say so till he tried. So Fred buckled right in with a trace of a grin on his face, where he started to sing as he tackled that thing that couldn't be done, and he did it. Somebody stopped. Well, you'll never do that. At least no one has ever done it. But Fred took off his coat and took off his hat. And the first thing you know, he'd begun. Lift the chin and look at the ground. Not any downing or quitting. Fred started to sing. Now, Fred loved to sing.
Fred loved to sing in the shower. Evelyn loved to hear Fred sing. He did. A big deal. So here we got the grin and the singing. So Fred started singing as he tackled that thing that couldn't be done, and he did it.
Do it, Bob.
There are thousands, so Fred would say, there are thousands to tell you it couldn't be done. There's thousands to prophesy death. There are thousands to point out to you one by one the danger. They were saying, let's just buckle right in with a bit of strength. Just take off your coat and go to it. So just start to sing as you tackle that thing that couldn't be done, and you'll do it, and that's great. When you need for it.
Then they decided that I should follow all these great speakers and the comedian. But I'm thinking about filing an age discrimination soon. Wonder why. Isn't this a great evening?
Ma'am.
I just love it when we get together to celebrate recovery. As you know, events like this don't just happen. They require a lot of work. I'd like to thank Chris, the staff, the participants, the folks who nominated people for the Barber Service Award, the committee who made the selection, and the presenters. We have a wonderful cross-section of people who earn the award. What that means is how important everyone's service is, whatever your talents and skills. Our family is so grateful that you honor Fred in this way. Because as you know, or you've heard tonight, service to the recovery community was his #1 passion. With apologies to Capital Broadcasting for giving him such a great defense. He was absolutely the happiest anytime he was here. And his second favorite place in the neighborhood was to hang out at the farmer's market. And the reason I have these notes is because I have this really old brain and from time to time it just sleeps, and I thought it might go over to the farmer's market right in the middle of my comment. So it was important that I had these notes. But his involvement with the Healing Place was very much a two-way street. As he often said, the people here kept him sober. So we congratulate and thank all of the award winners. We congratulate tonight's silver chippers and the people who moved into CTR2, as well as those who preceded you. And we're at the men's place, but this includes the women's silver chippers as well. And the CTR2 women who are on their way. And there would be no Fred Barber legacy if there were no silver chippers, nor volunteers like our winners tonight. Obviously, not everyone gets the opportunity to begin a mission like Healing Transitions.
but all of you are building your legacies as you walk this journey of recovery. Every time I get to talk to a silver chipper, he or she will tell me about someone who said something to them or did something for them that made a difference in their life. And almost without exception, they will end by saying, he or she saved my life. To that person whose life was saved, there is no greater legacy. To me, you're all award winners, including those of you in this audience tonight who are here as supporters. So I'll just end where I began. Once again, we congratulate you and we thank you.
This has been wonderful and we are almost done.
Yeah.
As we mentioned, we've got anniversary to recognize Mr. William Dickens. And let me start over. Ricky Dickens.
Yeah.
So he's always getting on you guys about horseplay, but look at him here pulling Woolie's tail.
We get number 3.
The 3 is right. Here he is with Mr. Lieutenant Colonel Eric Sharp, Tony Jarvis, and meeting the governor. And Catalina.
More than this whole world
All you could ever be.
it's been so good to me.
You know what he did? He washed all of my tears away.
Turn my midnights into day.
And I'll just say,
Thank you, Lord.
thank you, Lord.
And
I won't complain.
Hold on. But more important than that, he's been getting down for the last 20 years. So Wes, will you come up? Oh, and always wanting to be behind the scenes doing service in the dick pit.
Wow. I'm Wes, I'm Silver Chip number 3. I want to say thank you, to my friends, family. This is my family, all of you, but, come here, William. You gotta step out with this one. See, one of the greatest gifts of being part of this fellowship, we call Healing Transitions now, but with the Healing Place is, when you get to the point of your recovery and your journey, when you watch other people behind you, take momentous steps. It's such a thing for William to watch you guys, Silver Chip and get a marble back. But it's amazing and it's really gratifying for me to see that guy that was up there when I was sitting in detox working, when he slid up in here greasy. And
not only does he now, want change makers, but the change he's made. The change that he's made, thanks to the donations and to the service and to the volunteering and the legacy that you guys have put forward. And, like was said, we want to see you guys up here one day. So I want to say on behalf of all the silver chippers that came before you and the silver chips that came after you, congratulations. Welcome to the 23rd Club. Yes, I'm keep it short, quickly. Just want to say thank you to all the board members, former board members. One thing I have learned about this recovery is that I'm so grateful for other people and their achievements. I thank God for my achievements, but it's more to see the people behind me and the people in front of me that I got memories of. I tell you, I was telling somebody the other day, I remember I went to Evelyn and Fred's house. And I want to say Miss Evelyn, but she's told me not to do that. Evelyn and Fred's house when I was in phase 2, and we was washing the patio and the driveway. And he sent for lunch, and she went to Burger King and brought back burgers and fries. And we sat there. And so I'm so grateful for this 20 years, but when I think about coming up here with only one pair of pants and the shirt I had on my back, come on, and these people love me, and I learned to love myself. I can continuously here to say thank you to certain people. He don't like no thanks. Thank you. That man right there, I'm telling you, me and my wife, we spiritual. And we pray for him. We pray for the staff to heal the transition. Because I love my staff members. We squabble, but I love my staff members because I couldn't make it sometimes without them. Of course, it's God first. God first. But I got to have my family because I couldn't do this alone. So once again, to the Gap Church, other churches, this Barber, Evelyn, Fred, that's a memory that'll always be with William Dick. So I thank you. Right. Thank you. Okay.
All right, for those in nicotine withdrawal, you are dismissed. Thank you very much for a wonderful evening for being here.